Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again. Thank you so much for clicking. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, today we want to talk, just stroll and talk. And I just said, let me show you guys the view I'm having there. Can you see that? What park do you think I am? Anyway, this one is a beautiful park where I usually come once in a while just to refresh at Tamanjaya area. So like you have seen in the title of this video, what made you to actually click? Okay, we're talking about the current situation, which is the pandemic, right? And the things happening in Malaysia now, which no one actually expected. But what can we do, right? It is there, and we have to go through it for this period. Anyways, before I proceed, make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the like button. And how are you? And share this video with your loved ones and family, okay? We just want to talk on a very neutral basis, okay? Anything I will be saying is based on my own assertions about this current pandemic and the rules or the measures that have been taken by the Malaysian government. So let's begin right now if you want to know. Okay. So let me just give you a background. For those of you who may not be in Malaysia, you may not understand all these things we are talking about, the terminologies I'll be using. Those that are in Malaysia definitely understand what I'm saying. So I'll give you the definitions of the terminologies with regards to this pandemic. So you know, in some part of the world, you guys use the word lockdown, right? Okay, so basically Malaysia, we don't really call it lockdown, but it's still a lockdown because you have a lot of restrictions here and there and all that. So since the pandemic started for Malaysia, it started around March last year, 2020, we had what they called the Movement Control Order. That was the first one when the cases began to rise a little bit high. So the government employed Movement Control Order, and that Movement Control Order actually ensured that people do not really go beyond some meters of their houses. I forgot how many kilometers or whatever anyways, and if you want to go out, maybe only 2 people from the family or 1 person, something like that. There are a lot of strict rules. I think then it was even more strict than what I'm going to tell you now. And yeah, at a point, at that MCO, even they had to involve soldiers, the army, to come to the roadblocks, okay, with the police, just to advise people and all those kind of things. It was very peaceful, I must say, although a lot of people were also apprehended for disobeying the rules. That time we'll be seeing, you know, when they are mentioning numbers like this of people that were arrested and all that, you know, just to ensure that people are also careful and to be sure that if they also misbehave, they will be what? They will be arraigned by the authority. So yeah, a lot of people kept doing the right thing, you know, wearing face masks. That time, I don't even think face mask was having a fine as of when the CMCO, which is Conditional Movement Control Order, started. At that time, it was even worse, if you ask me. So basically, we have gone through a long process. God helped us so well in Malaysia, and we had even the Recovery Movement Control Order, because after MCO, they now reduced it a little bit to CMCO. CMCO is Conditional Movement Control Order, meaning that you move out based on some conditions. Like that was when masks was actually compulsory, like very compulsory, with a fine of 1,000 ringgit. Okay, so we moved that stage and got to the recovery stage, and things were moving very well at the recovery stage, and suddenly something happened. Sorry, this place, the sun is a little bit, can you guys see me very well now? So suddenly something happened just shortly while we were enjoying the Recovery Movement Control Order. What happened? There was an issue at Sabah. Okay, Sabah is a state here in Malaysia, and that issue at Sabah actually led to another uproar of cases. Why is the sun so terrible like this? Okay, so the movement has to be different, but I can't be moving backwards now. This is seriously terrible anyways. I don't know if you guys can see me because the sun seems to be obstructing my view. So yes, that thing that happened at Sabah actually caused a lot of harm, you know. After all the enjoyment and everything, we thought that we were coming out of this thing gradually, you know. Then the political uproar that happened at Sabah, because some people went there for elections and all that. There was a large outburst of cases. And yeah, what could we do, guys? There was more or less that we could do. So anyways, to cut the long story short, we found ourselves under another CMCO period. You can imagine that's a digression, right? A digression. But one thing I would like to say is that the Malaysian government has really been helpful throughout all these processes, okay? And yeah, after that, cases began to come up again, just of recent. Before, you know, the number of cases that we will have in Malaysia that we make them to begin to say, the cases are rising, is just like, let's say, just 2 digits. Is it 2 digits? Yeah, maybe like 15. Probably they were having like 5, 2, 3 before per day. Then they will start having like 15, 20 something. Then they begin to say, that something is increasing. The number is increasing, you understand? So before you know it, you started having a lot of cases, 200, 300, 500, 1,000. Wow. Then they began to say, wow, this is getting serious. Before you know it, guys, it got worse than that. We started having, as of now, we're having like 2,000 cases in a day, 2,500. In fact, there was a day it got to 3,000 cases, So the government came up again and said, okay, we will do something, right? So they now came up with MCO. MCO is Movement Control Order, MCO 2.0. That is taking us back to where it first started. And guys, some students, have been planning to actually come back, travel back and all that. But just look at it now. There's MCO. And the MCO is not everywhere, but in some states. But the major state, definitely like KL, which is the capital, is affected. Selangor, which is another very big place, is also affected. So what can you say about that, guys? So now we have restrictions again. Restrictions again, MCO 2.0. So yeah, it's not easy, if you ask me. Not easy at all, but we hope things get better. That's our prayer. We hope things get better. So what do you entail at this period or in this season of MCO now? What should be expected and what should we do? Because I'm making this video because some of you are actually scared. I'm talking to the international community who watch my video. Some of you are asking what is happening, this, that. And I say, okay, let's make a video. I know Malaysians are also here to be useful to every one of us. And some of you that are Malaysians can also contribute to this information I'm sharing here. So in this MCO now, it's just almost like the same at the first time, but I think it's a little bit more relaxed, okay? But you should be very careful. Of course, your masks must be with you, and you must follow all the SOPs of 1 meter distance and all those kind of things. You must follow all the SOPs so that you don't fall into trouble. Because this time I read it, if you actually break any of these, you pay 1,000 ringgit. 1,000 ringgit, the police gets you. No story about that. You know how much 1,000 ringgit is. Then apart from that, what else? I read in this MCO that you are not to move beyond 10 kilometers of your apartment where you stay. I don't know how you calculate that anyways, but that is what is there. You are not to move beyond 10 kilometers of your apartment. Wow, I love this entrance. It looks beautiful, right? So beautiful. Let me take a picture here. So yes, like I was saying, you are not to move beyond 10 kilometers of your apartment, okay? You can go out for jogging. Jogging is still allowed, but when you go to jog, ensure that you are not more than, is it more than 2 or more than 1 this time around? Okay, I think it's more than 1 or more than 2 of the same family, okay? And what again, there are some very funny rules. You can read them up, okay, online. So yeah, this is it, this MCO. But basically, it's just like trying to reduce the situations. There are no gatherings this time around, okay? Whether religious gatherings or anything, it's not allowed. But for you to come to somewhere like this park where I am, it's still allowed, okay? But there must be strict adherence to the SOPs. Now, for me, if you ask me, I think these are good measures. That shows a government that is serious. I know there will be a lot of, plus or minus with regards to these assertions, but still, I will still tell you that it's a good measure because all of us are seeing the numbers. And I don't think they are forging the numbers because Malaysia is quite critical when it comes to things like this, especially the health DG, okay? I know that even if anything is happening behind the scene, he will actually give the correct information. So for that, I can say Malaysia is actually giving us the correct number, okay, the correct figures with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic here in Malaysia. So the next thing I would like to say is that I hope things will get better if we actually adhere to these things, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I know many people are angry, especially international students, you know, like paying fees and, you know, huge fees, and we're not using the facilities like library, like all these things, you know, sports facilities. So I think the schools, the universities, if any of them are watching me now, should actually consider this, you understand? Not only international, I think everybody pays for library and all those things, right? But you know, international students, their fees are higher, okay, almost 3 times than the local fees. So I think there should be consideration. Please, if any of you are watching this, there should be consideration, because it's not easy for anybody everywhere all over the world now, okay? So if people are still here trying to, you know, register in the schools, pay school fees and all that, especially those that are self-sponsored, it is not easy. I think there should be consideration given with regards to that. So the next thing I would say is this new stuff that they brought up, which is emergency. And I know many people will be scared again. So Malaysians, please help us to explain down below what is the meaning of this emergency, okay? What's the function? I think in Malaysia, this is the 4th emergency, right? That they're ever having, or 5th, I'm not sure. I think they have had 4 before, and this is the 5th one now. But the other ones were not nice, okay? But this one now, you know, they are saying that it's just to curb the pandemic and all that. And the Prime Minister has, you know, tried to assure the people, the netizens, okay, everybody, that don't worry, nothing serious will happen, you know. Like in previous emergencies, like if they declare state of emergency, definitely there will be curfew and all that. Am I right? But now they said there's no curfew for this one. I read it myself. There's no curfew, okay, you can move around. They are not breaching your freedom of movement. I think the major thing from what I read, because I've read different news and different papers to see how to balance this. So when people are saying that it's just because of the political instability, do you understand? Like there's a lot of political instability in Malaysia right now. That's the truth. Okay, so, but you know, one funny thing about this country, things like this are happening and many people outside will not even know. You see? Because of peace, you know, if there's uproar now and there's war and there's all these things, definitely people will know all over the world. Am I right? But because there's peace in the country, so things are still moving smoothly. Same thing with this emergency. I believe Malaysia will not misbehave and come down to a low, stoop down to a low level to begin to, you know, block everywhere and all those things. There's no war, okay? So according to the Prime Minister again, he said, please have my assurances, as I've always given you before and I've always fulfilled my promises. So there will be no war, there will be no fights, there will be no anything, okay? Just ensure that you try to keep to these things, because we are trying to actually break the spread of this COVID-19 pandemic, okay? So basically that's what he said, and I hope so. I hope that this will be fine and things will be okay. I'm getting into the sun now, receiving vitamin D. It's becoming more interesting. And yeah, people are still here. I can see a couple there just doing their own thing, enjoying themselves. I don't know if you can see them. Anyways, guys, that is it. So we hope that things get better. Hopefully, my prayers are with Malaysia. I'm also in Malaysia, so anything that happens also affects me. Okay, but we pray nothing bad will happen. If you're an international student here in Malaysia, or you are working here or whatever, please stay safe, stay fine. Don't be afraid of anything, but do the right thing, okay? Keep to the necessary precautions. That's just all that is necessary for us at this time. Because anybody, whether international or local, if you break any of the laws, you will definitely pay the penalty. So that is what I can tell you guys now. We hope for a better Malaysia. We hope that the pandemic is resolved as quick as possible. We hope that their measures will not be in vain, okay? Because many people are already questioning the measures and all that. So we hope the measures will not be in vain. We hope the MCO will actually work and try to reduce these numbers, because people are dying. That's the funny thing, you know. Every day now you get number of deaths, you know, even higher than before. So I think the precautions measures that have been laid down by the government, I think it's useful and helpful at this time. Let's all stay safe and let's hope that things are okay. The educational systems, please try to do the best. Reduce the fees for the students, especially international students. In fact, everybody, local, international, reduce the fees. It's not easy anywhere, okay? And let us all live in peace. Anyways, I will be giving you guys more videos from this location. I don't know. Just give me the, what do you call it? The topics you want me to be talking about, because I may not be traveling so much within these 2 weeks of the pandemic, but I will still be giving you guys videos as frequent as I can. Till I see you in the next video, stay safe, stay positive. Don't let anybody steal your joy, okay? Anyway, stay safe, much love, and God bless you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love Malaysia, and everything will be all right. Bye-bye.